Ciao ragazzi, LordTeox here and welcome to another Genshin Impact video. It's the 10th of February and there are so many things going on in the game now. Treasure hunting, collect the new lantern, the new world quest, there are so many things. But today what I would like to focus with you guys is the new tower defense. It's so good, it's a lot of fun, and I will give you all the tips I can in the next few minutes. From someone who really loved the tower defense game in general, having this in Genshin Impact really makes me happy. It's a lot of fun, it's a lot of strategy, you can experiment a lot of things, and basically I will not say it's free, but pretty much, as you might guys notice, you don't need any resins for going in this dungeon and do the tower defense. The only things you need is the Xiao lantern. It's basically something you can easily farm killing mobs in the game, also doing mining, and at the same time you can just pick up some flowers in the route and you will be able to craft your lantern and play the game. It's fairly simple, I would say. It's not very complicated. In 10 minutes I was like just going around the map. I collect more than 45 lantern, who allowed me to experiment a lot of things. So make sure to do that, guys, and let's start the tips. The first tips I have for you guys is about the team composition. My team I use at the moment is with Barbara, Ganyu, Diluc, and GeoTraveler. There are a lot of reasons why I'm using this team, and I will go through this in a second. But you really need to focus on one thing, especially at the beginning of every dungeon. Your character doesn't do any damage, so the only way you can do damage is thanks to the tower you're gonna build and thanks to all the elemental reaction you can have. From there we know that the most powerful reaction in the game is Melt, and that's also why I recommend you to use the same one in the tower defense. Fire and Cryo in general is something that you actually want to really focus in. That's why I also use Ganyu, that's why I also use Diluc, but in your tower you should definitely focus to Fire and to Cryo. After that you can go with Hydro, and even if it's super good, especially with a character like Barbara, but the electrical tower is not really my favorite one. There are a lot of people they can use it, and again, really depending of your team composition and really depend of how you want to play the game, you can also use the electro tower. From my point of view, Fire and Cryo are definitely the best one. Another things you should not be scared, guys, is level up your tower. Of course, the points you need for build a tower at the beginning will be 100, and as soon as you level up, the tower will be 120, 130, 140, so level 3 will be 140. But the amount of damage the tower will do after it's leveled up, it's such a huge difference from level 1. Don't be scared to spend your resource. Don't be scared to, even if you start the level, you're not gonna be maybe build 4 towers at the same time, or maybe just 2. But those 2 towers you're gonna build there will be much more stronger, much more. You will have much more efficiency instead of just the 4 you had before. So don't be scared to level up your tower. Is definitely worth it. Talking about the tower, the other things I really recommend to take in consideration is this recover mechanism. I like to call it kind of special tower, but this recover mechanism allowed you to get more points every time a tower who is in the area of this mechanism defeat an enemy. So what I normally recommend, especially at the beginning of the wave where it's more easier to defeat the enemies, is to put this mechanism at the center of this area where you are gonna build a lot of tower, and from there you just gonna get more and more points every time you defeat the enemy. After that, of course, we know that now you can just build around 14, 15 or 16 tower if you get lucky with the bonus, but after that you can definitely destroy it and maybe build another tower will be more useful at the moment for you. Going back to the team composition, the reason why I chose the Geo Traveler in my team is about body blocking. I know it's kind of weird talking about that in Genshin Impact, but in this tower defense is a mechanic that you definitely need to take in consideration. The reason why I'm explaining this to you is because all the enemy you will have in the different wave, they will react at the same way they react in the game, which means you can stun the enemy, you can try to throw them away, you can do everything you normally do in the game, you can also do it in the tower defense. So even if you don't do any damage to them, you may be allowed at the same time the tower to attack multiple times your enemy just because you block them. So that's allowed you to defeat the enemy in the easiest way, or maybe if you are like a little bit behind and you're like, I don't know, you are almost at the end of the map, you will try to build kind of wall with your structure and try and let the tower do the work. As simple as that. The last things you should be aware, guys, is in the power up section. So every time you finish the level, you're allowed to take one of these random power up that will probably help you in the next wave. I say probably because you have two things. One is a fearless and the other one is a fickle, where you need to be very careful if you choose them. So the first one, fearless, it's very dangerous and is very high risk. Most of the times will spawn a random enemy who is a little bit like bigger and a high level than the other, like a ruin guard or something like that. If you defeat them, you will finish the level right away. It's very cool, it's very good, it makes you go things faster, but if you don't defeat the enemy, which is most of the time that's what happens, is because your tower are not strong enough, you will lose and fail the challenge. The second one, fickle, it's a very good power up, but you should definitely be careful. The reason why I say that is because it's a completely random power up. Yes, allowed you the tower to have such a huge power to become very strong, especially compared to the other power up. But the downside of this, that the game will put you against a challenge that you might or not be able to defeat. And since it's completely random, you don't know if you're ready for that. And maybe if you are in a good point, will completely screw your waves and your levels. So it's not something I really use, it's not something I really choose, and most of the time I would say it's not worth it. So be aware, guys. Hope you guys found these tips very helpful, and I'm sure after you listen to this you will be able to defeat the first 2 levels without any problem. I try to keep it as shorter as I can. I'm sorry, but as you might notice now, I know I'm talking too much, but again, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any question about the tower defense or also about something else, just let me know. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoy Genshin Impact, and I will leave you this with Ganyu now, and she will show you how to defeat the 1.2 multiplier level alone, because she can do that because she is Ganyu. Thank you so much. Ciao ciao, see you next time.